Many people sense this, even if they can't quite explain it, that drained, foggy, dreamlike state after staring at screens. It's not just in your head. There's something real happening beneath the surface. When you watch screens for extended periods, your brain shifts into different modes, specifically into alpha and theta brainwave states. These are the same frequencies associated with dreaming or the moments just before falling asleep. In this state, your conscious mind quiets down and your subconscious mind becomes more open. Time starts to blur. You lose your sense of the present moment. You might feel like you were somewhere else. And afterward, you're left foggy, like you just woke from a long nap you don't remember taking. Screens are more than just light and color. They stimulate your eyes and nervous system in ways that your body isn't designed to handle constantly. Blue light disrupts melatonin production and confuses your natural sleep rhythm. Rapid motion and constant flashing visuals hijack your attention, keeping your system in a kind of alert state, but without movement. You sit still, body frozen, while your mind is overstimulated. This disconnect can make you feel tired, restless, or even disconnected from yourself, like you're living too much in your head. We weren't designed to absorb information at the speed of television, but in front of screens, our brains are forced to process data at an unnatural, relentless pace, frame after frame, sound after sound, suggestion after suggestion. This constant overstimulation trains the mind to expect that same velocity everywhere. So when the screen turns off and real life returns, slower, quieter, less dramatic, the mind struggles. Boredom creeps in, anxiety follows. The subconscious, conditioned to rapid input, doesn't know how to rest. It starts scanning reality for the same stimulation it was fed by media, but it never finds it. That program doesn't exist in the natural world, and so the nervous system stays in overdrive. Peace becomes elusive, stillness feels uncomfortable, and rest becomes something we have to relearn. There's also the emotional side. Movies, shows, and online content often carry emotional frequencies: fear, conflict, sadness, manipulation. You absorb them, even if you think you're just watching casually. These emotional patterns can linger in your energy field long after the screen is off. You may not realize it, but it's like walking through a crowd and picking up people's energy. Suddenly, you're carrying emotions that aren't even yours. And while your body sits still, almost frozen in place, your awareness is being pulled in all directions. That lack of movement cuts off your grounding. You feel out of sync, like your mind and body aren't in the same place anymore. Screens don't just affect us through what they show. They also emit subtle signals. Phones, TVs, and routers all produce electromagnetic fields, and since your brain and body operate electrically, these EMFs can disturb your system in quiet but powerful ways. They may interfere with your nervous system, affect cell communication, and contribute to fatigue or emotional imbalance. Even the refresh rate of screens, the way they flicker, can shift your brain into those trance-like states. Your eyes might not notice, but your brain does. The result is dissociation, mental tiredness, and a strange sense of being glued to the screen, even when you're mentally checked out. Color and light frequencies from screens signal your brain to stay awake, even late at night. They stimulate emotional centers, bypassing your conscious filter. And because your subconscious mind can't tell the difference between real and imagined, it records all of it, the fear, the drama, the suggestions, as if it's all truth. This is why television has been called one of the most powerful hypnotists. It entertains on the surface, but beneath that, it installs emotional reactions, beliefs, identities, and ideas directly into your subconscious. If you're not careful, you begin living based on programming that was never truly yours. From the moment we're born, our minds begin to collect programs from parents, school, culture, and especially media. The subconscious becomes like a hard drive recording everything. Without realizing it, we begin to adopt identities, fears, and desires shaped by outside influences. Without awareness, we end up living someone else's version of life, not our own. And in doing so, something essential is lost. Our lives are no longer truly ours. They've become artificial, shaped not by the pulse of nature, but by the rhythm of screens, schedules, and systems. We live in an induced state of consciousness that resembles sleep. Truth be told, life has lost its meaning in the artificial soup we now float through. We chase routines without presence, consume without nourishment, and move through days that feel scripted and hollow. We are being told what to want, what to wear, what to fear, and what to worship. The media doesn't just inform, it instructs. It sells you identities, ideologies, enemies, and distractions, all wrapped in polished pixels. It tells you what's popular, what's trending, and what matters, even if none of it actually does. The soul longs for something real, but is drowned out by the noise. And slowly, life stops feeling alive. We drift through a script written by someone else, following cues we never consciously agreed to, trapped in a dream that isn't ours. This is why deprogramming is so important. Taking time in silence, unplugging, letting the mind settle, feeling your own essence again. Give yourself a break from screens, time in nature, breath work. They all help return you to the natural rhythm that screens disrupt. Because ultimately, there is a deeper agenda behind all this. When you look at the structure of modern society, what politicians focus on, what media celebrates, what systems reward, you start to see a pattern. Consciousness is not nurtured, it's suppressed. Not by accident, but by design. A disconnected, distracted population is easy to manage. When people are not connected to their inner truth, they follow orders, consume endlessly, and don't question the illusion. Control doesn't require chains. Just keep people spiritually asleep, and they won't even see the cage. The goal of the system isn't to help us awaken. It's to keep us just aware enough to function, but not enough to question, reflect, or remember who we truly are. But once you see the pattern, once you begin to feel how deeply these frequencies have shaped your experience, you can begin to reclaim your mind, your identity, your consciousness. You don't have to find every individual behind the illusion to know the game is rigged. All it takes is paying attention to what's ignored, what's silenced, and what's constantly pushed. And when you choose presence over distraction, awareness over programming, and truth over comfort, you begin to wake up. Not just from screens, but from the whole artificial dream itself.